How's it going, everyone? It's Foxy here for another edition of Foxy's Flea Market Pickups. Now, I'm going to be doing something a little bit different this time around. The montage kind of price thing that I normally do at the very end of my videos, I'm not going to do for this one for one specific reason, and that's because I have quite a lot of stuff to show, and if I do that montage thing, it's usually like an extra minute or two. And I kind of don't want to make the video longer than I know it's already going to be. So with that said, let's get started. I'm going to do things, I'll tell you the price of it, and I'm going to go from like ascending order to how much I paid. First with stuff I got for the cheapest. That would be Age of Empires 3 for the PC. The label on the front here has gotten quite sun damaged. It's like so faded compared to like, I'll show you. See how that's like so faded, and then you see the actual thing. It's much more brighter. The color's better. Yeah, so I don't know how long this has been sitting at the flea market, but luckily I found it because I love Age of Empires. I've played 2. I've played the original. I've played the one on some handheld system. I think it was the Game Boy Advance. Correct me if I'm wrong. And I'm very excited to play this one for 50 cents with all the discs and everything in there. I'm very happy about that. The other thing I got for 50 cents from the same dealer was a copy of Ford Racing on the PS1. Mostly because why not? And then, well, I'll get to it later on, but, you know, I'm starting to get into racing games again, and that's solely the reason why. Now, for things I got for $1, the major thing, and I don't know if most people will find this major, but I think it's major, is this Capcom Fight Stick for the Super Nintendo, and there's like a connection port in the back here that I guess you can hook up to maybe a Sega Genesis or some other systems, because this piece here that connects to the Super Nintendo is completely removable. So I'm assuming they make extra ports for it. I don't know, but it's really, really nice. And for $1, you know, something like this on the internet, I briefly looked. For this specific one, I believe was anywhere from $20 to $40, depending on the condition. And this one is in really, really nice condition. There's not much wear to it at all. The analog is micro switch, and that's fantastic on fight sticks. I've played with a couple of fight sticks that didn't have micro switches, and the quality was just not the same. So if you ever do try to find a fight stick, get one with micro switches. That's the best advice I could give you. Other things I got for $1. Let me pull these closer so it's easier. Smackdown, Here Comes the Pain. I've said it before, I'll say it again. I do like the WWE games. I don't really watch the show anymore. I haven't for a long time. I mean, I'll flip it on every now and then, but it's just I don't get into it anymore. And I have played this before. I've actually owned it at one point I rented it plenty of times when I was younger, and it was fantastic. I absolutely love Here Comes the Pain. And not Shut Your Mouth, but there's another one on the PS2. No, it is Shut Your Mouth, because I was thinking that or Just Bring It. It's probably... I have it. Hold on one second. Just Bring It. That's the one that I like. Yep. I got confused for a second. I'm half out of it today. Next we got MX Unleashed. Never played it. Don't really have anything to say about it, really. And here we got Amped, snowboarding game. I love snowboarding games. Never played this one. So, SSX Tricky was probably my favorite of all the snowboarding games I've ever played. And then I got Amped 3 for the Xbox. Again, it's not like I've played it, so I don't really have anything to say about it. Here we got NFL Street 2. And I may be wrong, but I think that's Exhibit on the cover at the bottom right there, that's kind of funny for some reason to me. Never played NFL Street, but I have played NBA Street, and I absolutely love that game, so I am cautiously optimistic about this. Prince of Persia, Sands of Time. This is one of those games that, like the Prince of Persia franchise is one of those franchises that everyone absolutely loves, as far as like all my friends and whatnot absolutely love the games. I've played them, and it was when I was younger, and I just couldn't really get into them. And now that I'm older, I'm trying to, get myself back. Okay, why didn't I like this game? Is it because I was just didn't really give a shit, or didn't really... I got bored easily when I was a kid. That was probably why I didn't play them. But I got that, and then I got Prince of Persia, the Two Thrones, just to, again, give it another shot, because when I was a kid, it's just like, you can't really... How do you put it? You can't really trust how you were when you were younger compared to how you are now, if that makes any sense at all. This Crash, the Mind over Mutant. Now, it says a Goodwill sticker of 99 cents. This is because some idiot at the flea market didn't take it off, and then I asked him on it, and he goes, "Oh, it's $2." I said, you got a Goodwill sticker of $1 on there? Or 99 cents, and he goes, well, that he kind of like stutters. He's like, well, that's how much I paid for it. So I put it down, and I just walked away. He's like, well, fine, you can have it for $1. It's like, okay, good, because I wasn't gonna pay you $2 when you have $1 on there. I don't care. See, the thing is, I don't care if you bought it for this much. If it's still on the fucking thing, that's how much I'm gonna assume that you're selling it for. Don't play that stupid bullshit game with me. I don't like that. But I've never even heard of this game, which is funny, just for the fact that I collect PS2 games. I probably got like 300 PS2 games, and a lot of the time I come across these things like, what, this exists? It's just one of those things. I find it funny. Next is Fire Pro Wrestling Returns. Apparently this is a sequel just from the name. I don't know anything about this game. Like, it looks like a PS1, like an early PS1 game, just based off the pictures on the back, and I know you probably won't be able to see it with the lighting, I know. The thing that interested me is that it's made by Agetech, which is a company that I like, who has made Way of the Samurai. I'm thinking that's the company that made the original Way of the Samurai. Sometimes I get confused. But if that is the case and they made this, it kind of makes me think it might be alright. But then again, I don't know. It says on the back here, Wrestling Fans Meet Your New Friend by IGN. So take that for what it's worth. Next thing I got for $1 is Looney Tunes Back in Action. Now, actually, these next 3 games I got from the same guy, and he had like 30 games, and a lot of them were actually quite rare, but the discs were fucked, like cracked, damaged, completely destroyed. And these 3 games were games that I took a risk on, that were heavily scratched, but heavily scratched with light scratches, if that makes any sense. I tested out all 3 of these next games, and they all worked, thankfully, because, I don't know, I guess it wouldn't have been a huge loss, because it would have only been $3, but still it kind of sucks when you buy something and it doesn't work. But this game I have played. I did actually like it. There's exclusives, apparently. PlayStation 2 exclusives. Fantastic bonus content, including Looney Tunes cartoons, trailers, and more. Now, I played this on the Xbox, so I don't... At least I think. It might have been the GameCube. I know I've played Back in Action before. So I don't know if what the and more are on the exclusive things. So that's interesting to me. Next is The Thing. One of those games I've always wanted, but for some reason I've just never spent the money on. And it's not like it's ever been expensive, because you go to like resale shops and it's always like under $5. I guess because I saw it for $1, I just decided to get it. Ford Racing 2, the original Ford Racing. That's kind of how I saw this, and I was like, all right, well, I have the original. I might as well get them all, basically. Now, what I was going to say earlier about the original Ford Racing game is that with the title just being like a manufacturer or brand of car, I was kind of expecting the game to be pretty shitty, because I've played one like that before. The game's called Corvette, and it just features nothing but Corvette games, and the handling on those cars in that game is so ungodly bad. So I was kind of expecting the same with, something like Ford Racing or Ferrari Racing or whatever other just generic brand and then racing after it. I guess generic's the wrong word, but you know what I'm trying to say. Actually, this is a pretty fun game. And it took me completely by surprise, because the handling on the cars are actually really, really nice. So now I'm actually, I know I said that like 5 times now, pretty glad I picked up these games. Possibly will review, though I'm not going to make promises. I'm tired of making promises that I can't keep. So that's that. So next are the games I got for $2. First being Dark Watch. One of those games, again, like with The Thing, I've always wanted to buy and always wanted to play, but never really wanted to spend the money on. But unlike The Thing, I've always found Dark Watch to be not expensive necessarily, because it was always around hovering the $10 to $15 range. But I didn't want to spend the money. And coming across this for $2, plus the fact that it's a first-person shooter, and you all know, at least most of you, I'm a big first-person shooter fan. I decided to get it. That's that. Next, we got Obi-Wan, or Star Wars Obi-Wan. I knew this existed. I've always wanted to play it, and for $2, hey, you can't really beat it. And it also has a label from Half Price Books. This person bought it for $2. There is a Half Price Books like 5 miles away from one of the stores that I work at. I'm debating on going over there, because that's the only Half Price Books even near where I live. Even near where this flea market was. So I'm hoping there's more games around this price range, because that's pretty cool. Next, we got Gauntlet Dark Legacy. I cannot begin to tell you how many hours I've put in this game when I was younger, both me and my dad. Probably more than any game I've ever played. I could easily say that if there was ever a game I probably put 100+ hours into, it's Gauntlet Dark Legacy. I love this game. It's repetitive, sure, fine, but what game isn't? Every game is repetitive in its own way. This game is just absolutely fun to both me and my dad. We could play it any time, probably all day if we wanted to. It's just absolutely amazing. But I actually bought this copy for me because my dad has it in his office, and when I move out, he's gonna keep that one. I'll keep this one. Besides, this is in much better shape. Next, we got stuff I got for $2.50. It was actually like 2 for $5. That's what I offered, and he took it. Fight Night Round, or 2004. I love the Fight Night games. I've always thought they were great fun. I'm kind of sad that they don't make these anymore, because I've always preferred them over the MMA, UFC type games, just because I thought they were more fun, to be honest. Never played 2004. I've played Fight Night Round 3, Round 4, and shit, there's another one. It may have either come out after 4 or before 3, but it was a really good game. Call of Duty Ghosts for the 360. I'm probably going to get rid of it. I don't want it. I already have it on the PS3. Or Ghost. Did I say Advanced Warfare? I don't know what I said. I don't want this game. I'll get rid of it because the game sucks dick. Sorry, if you like the game, whatever, fine. I'm not going to knock you for it. I just think of all the Call of Duty games out there, Ghost is by far my most hated. Next to Modern Warfare 2, my most hated Call of Duty game. I think it's fucking awful. My phone went off for the 3rd time in the last 10 minutes. Thank you, woman. Next thing is things I got for $3. First being Alien vs. Predator, or Aliens vs. Predator. I played this once when I had, like, my shitty TV, which was like a old... I forgot what they used to call them, but they're not plasma, they're not LCD, LED, they're like the big box ones, and I couldn't, it was like right when I got my first PS3, I couldn't fucking see a thing. I everything was dark, everything looked like absolute shit, and now that I got a actually really, really nice TV, I'm decided to try this game again.